Welcome to the 2023 fifth grade D.A.R.E graduation. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. First things first, I want to thank the Festus Intermediate PTO for getting us our D.A.R.E t-shirts. They turned out really cool this year, so thank you, FIS PTO. And now I will ask Mr. Kurtz to come up here.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. And those of you who are watching through the district website or on the YouTube channel, good morning. We are excited to have our fifth graders here today for their D.A.R.E graduation. They've been working really hard the last several months, and their officers as well, just doing a great job. I've heard the kids talking out in the hallways, and we've wrote some great speeches. You're going to be able to hear a few of those today. But as always, we always want to say thank you to the voters and the taxpayers who helped provide this Performing Arts Center, which is wonderful, and our 4 SROs that we have for the district that have made a huge difference for us, and I hope for you, with the thought of safety with sending your children to school. They do a great job. We greatly appreciate their efforts. Just having their police cars parked on the campus and having them walk the hallways makes us all feel much more safe, and we do appreciate that. We could not have done that without you. So thank you very much for doing that. And at this time, I would like to bring up Officer Richard Plackett.
All right, so thank you everyone for being here. Good morning and welcome to Festus D.A.R.E graduation 2023. My name is Richard Plackett and I'm the SRO at Festus High School. Officer Brookshire and I had the opportunity to teach D.A.R.E here at Festus Intermediate this year. First, I would like to take a minute to thank everyone, including parents, family members, and friends for coming to support their students. I would also like to thank our Festus School District board members, administration, principals, assistant principals, teachers, and other staff members, especially those at Festus Intermediate School, for allowing us to present the D.A.R.E program to our students. So, Officer Brookshire and I would like to thank Corporal Cavanis for his support and assistance with the D.A.R.E program. Not trying to give away his age, but whenever I was in the academy in 2008, he was an instructor, and he's basically been a cop since the dinosaur program. We also want to thank Officer Houston for helping us the past few weeks as he transitioned from patrol to the intermediate school SRO. D.A.R.E began in the early 1980s and was established to curb drug issues and improve community relations. The program was initiated in the city of Los Angeles, California, and the popularity of the D.A.R.E program continued to rise, and D.A.R.E began a relationship between schools and police across the United States. While D.A.R.E was initially created to primarily focus on curbing drug-related issues, it developed into a program entitled Keeping It Real, where students learn to make good choices. Students now learn about alcohol, tobacco, and the health effects associated with the use. Students learn how to respond to stressful situations and make safe and responsible choices by using resistance strategies. Students learn about communication, the different styles, and also learn about bullying and how destructive it can be to an individual or individuals, as well as ways to report. bullying or intervene instead of being a bystander. Most importantly, D.A.R.E allows law enforcement officers to develop relationships with students that we hope continues throughout their entire life. In 2008, I attended college and then went to the Jefferson College Law Enforcement Academy. In 2013, I attended D.A.R.E School in Jefferson City, Missouri, and have looked forward to the D.A.R.E classes each year since. Congratulations to our D.A.R.E graduates, and I'm excited to see you progress as you move into your next school year. I am very appreciative of our guest speaker, who was asked and agreed to come speak to our students today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stacy Templeton.
Good morning. As he said, my name is Stacy Templeton, and on behalf of the mayor and the Festus City Council, congratulations on making it to their graduation. So now that you're finishing 5th grade, how many of you know exactly what you want to do when you grow up? Awesome. Okay, now all the adults in the room, how many of you are doing what you thought you would be doing when you were 5th grade? Wow. So did you guys see the difference in the hands? Right? So why do I ask that? Because life is about choices and opportunities. Anybody know the difference between a choice and an opportunity? Right there. Yep. Exactly. So an opportunity is a chance for advancement or progress. Generally something good, right? But a choice is a decision. That's the decision that you are making. So it could be good, it could be bad, it could be big, it could be small. So during your D.A.R.E education, what are some of the choices that you talked about making? Anybody else? Third word. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yep. Exactly. Go ahead. And then next to you. Yep. I know what he said. Okay. So I'm sure you talked about bullying, drinking, drugs, but you also talked about being a good friend, helping others, and following a moral compass. Anybody know what a moral compass is? Anybody? Just yell it out. Right. That little voice in your head that says, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. Right? Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe we should be thinking about another option. So some of the decisions that you make, some of those choices, can have a real serious impact on what your future opportunities are going to come your way. So you may choose to play a musical instrument. And because of that, you may be given the opportunity to be in the honor band later. You may choose to go out for track. Because of that, you may get to go to the state track meet, get a college scholarship. You may choose to take Spanish, and because of that, you're given the opportunity to travel abroad. So those are all good things, right? But had you chosen not to participate in those things, you wouldn't necessarily have that opportunity. So all of you are kind of at that point when you are being faced with a lot of new choices to make every single day. And that's part of growing up. And as most of the adults in this room can say, we make more decisions on a daily basis than we ever thought possible. Every single day. And it's something new because society's changing. When back in the dark ages when I was in school, I didn't have a phone. The phone was at home, it was tethered to the wall, and you had to spin the dial around to get a phone call. You guys are inundated every nanosecond of the day by social media, by technology. You can't walk away from it. But you can choose to decide how much space you give that in your world. Is everything you see on social media true? No, right? Do you see things out there you're like, you know, I probably didn't need to see that? But you also see things out there that you're like, wow, I would never have known that if I didn't have the opportunity to Google. So if you're going to be using social media, just check the sources. You know, sometimes what sells isn't anything that even remotely relates to reality for the average person. most of us too would probably say that we made a decision or two that probably would have made a different choice. And everybody agree with that for the most part? May have been big, may have been small, but sometimes also you're going to find that the choices that you're making now may lead you a different path than your friends that you've had for a very long time. It's okay. It's part of growing up. See, what's so great about being yourself is you can say no and follow that moral compass that is in your head. You don't have to choose to do something that you know is wrong, because that can limit your opportunities. Some of the choices you make, people aren't going to give you opportunities because of big choices that you've made. And sometimes those choices impact other people, not just yourself. As youth officers on the stage can relate to people that make the choice to consume alcohol or some other substance and get behind the wheel of a car. Just as many times as they hurt themselves, they hurt somebody else, and maybe permanently. So that's a choice. Fortunately for you, those are choices you don't have to make alone. If you are coming to a decision that you are struggling with, ask a parent, ask a friend's parent, ask one of these officers, ask your principal, ask your teacher, ask your coach, anybody that you trust to help you make a decision, because we don't expect you to have all the answers at this age. I mean, I don't have all the answers now. Does anybody? Because the questions keep changing. The one thing that we do hope is that you all have the opportunity for a very bright future. So remember who you are, remember that there's somebody to help you, and do the best you can to make the best choices and have the best opportunities come your way. Congratulations.
All right, so as the majority of you guys know, I'm Officer Richard. I'm a mean person. Super mean. Quite literally the meanest. All right, so I get the pleasure of doing the funness part of this, of the essay winners. So, if you don't like the order these are in, Officer Houston, go after him. That guy. Okay. All right. So what we did, we picked, Officer Black and I picked out a handful. We gave him, and he picked our top 5. So we're going to do 5 winners. So we're going to start at the bottom and go to the top. Sound like playing, kids? I didn't say talk. All right. So first, I'd like to welcome to the stage Kendall Chance Samini. Come here. I don't bite, I swear.
My D.A.R.E. report. So I've had some bad experiences that I have no idea how to deal with it. But that was before D.A.R.E. and now I know exactly what to do. Like for example, I was in the car with somebody who was smoking while driving, and I couldn't do anything. I didn't know how to tell them to stop, but now I've had D.A.R.E. and I wish I could have told them to stop and why. In shorter stories, somebody was pushing and hurting someone, but I was afraid, so I or anybody around didn't say a word. But enough with stories. The point is D.A.R.E. can really change the way you think, feel, and deal with situations. but you probably already know that. But to me, D.A.R.E can be more than just a class. If you don't know, D.A.R.E stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And do you know how bad after effects are, such as less blood going to heart, which means your organs will slow down, thus making you weaker and losing breath quickly, and can really affect your life. If I remember the D.A.R.E decision-making model correctly, it's define, assess, respond, evaluate. Now, most likely you already know this, so I'll try to see if you know this. There are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths every year. D.A.R.E was founded 40 years ago, and the D.A.R.E was the most popular in the 1980s to 90s. Now, I know this is boring, me telling you things you already know, but I probably don't know how I could have made it through anything because of how much D.A.R.E helped me. D.A.R.E was not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be long and boring, but really it went by really fast, and I can't believe it's already over. But I've learned more than I thought. I thought it would just be stuff like don't smoke and don't do drugs. But I've learned more than just that. I've learned about trust and kindness. It's also helped me understand my friends, classmates, and family better. Now we're nearing the end, but I have more to say. Some people say I'm quiet, but the reason for that is I feel like they don't understand me. I grew up in a smoker's house in a sketchy neighborhood when I was young. But after D.A.R.E, I feel more open and I'm not alone. Like someone I know also has divorced parents. But for a long time, I felt alone and that I'm going the wrong way. But now I have a help network. I feel like more people care about me. Last things last, I want to thank my D.A.R.E officers, Officer Plackey. He's so kind and understanding, but time for the icing on the cake, the pledge. I, Kendall Chanselmi, am going to do my best to help stop bullying that happens anywhere. I agreed not to be a bystander and let it happen. I will never exclude anybody.
All right, next up, please welcome to the stage, Kate Haynes.
D.A.R.E by Caden Haynes. If you need help making good decisions about things like peer pressure, you should try D.A.R.E. D.A.R.E will tell you what to do if you see someone being bullied or if you are being bullied. If you can tell a trusted adult, and if you don't want your name to be involved, you can ask to be anonymous. I have learned many things in D.A.R.E, two of which are how to communicate correctly and how to be a good citizen. Being a good citizen, which means to be kind, stop bullying when you can, and much more. Communicating correctly means to not stutter anymore. I have used D.A.R.E to do the right thing. I've used it to stop bullying, to stand up to bullies. I've said no to peer pressure, and I'm kind to people. For example, I've been kind by holding doors at recess, hitting balls that fell into the field, putting the balls away, and more. I plan to use D.A.R.E in the future to never accept peer pressure for things like drugs, alcohol, and more. I will be kind to people and be a good citizen. I will always stop bullying at all times and under any circumstance. In conclusion, I can say I really enjoyed D.A.R.E and that I taught me a lot of things of what is good, what is bad. If I had the chance to take D.A.R.E again, I would. I recommend D.A.R.E a lot because it teaches you a lot, like what to say to peer pressure, how to talk, officer, and I pledge that I, Kaden, am going to do my best to be a good citizen. I am taking the dare change by making this pledge to help stop bullying that happens at my school.
I should just get shorter, and this would be, ooh, thank you so much. All right, next up, in third place, we have Nathan Alford. He does not wish to read it, so I'm going to do my best to read it. There we go. I have to about the same height. All right. Do you know what, and if I mess up, it's cool. Do you know what D.A.R.E means? It means DARE decision-making model. In DARE, a police officer comes into each class to teach you about many things about drugs, stress, and communication styles. Everyone in DARE is kind, and you do so much fun stuff. I learned so many things, and I hope stay to learn them too. Let's start with drugs and stress. Drugs are anything that affect the way your mind and body works, such as alcohol and tobacco. Don't listen to any peer pressure or pressure to get you to do drugs while underage. If you are being bullied about drugs or just bullying in general, tell a trusted adult and let them handle it. There are more than 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year, so please stay away from it. If you are being pressured or are stressed, take a few deep breaths and use the DDMM to define, assess, respond, and evaluate. This means DARE. Define. The first step in the DDMM is to define the situation, figure out what the problem is before moving on. Assess. Figure out all your choices. Look for more good than bad, but find a few. R for respond. Choose the best choice in your opinion and act on it. Then evaluate. Ask yourself, was it a good choice? Now for confident communication. If there's a small problem, you can just use the DDMM or just think of something you can all agree on. For example, if you want to play video games but your friend wants to ride bikes, you can find a game like Pokemon Go or some sort of similar game. If you're a bystander, you can still help. Tell an adult if you notice someone being bullied or any small things like that. Just remember, small things can go a long way. I think we both have learned a lot today. Thank you for reading. I think you should make a pledge. Here's mine as an example. I am myself, so I'm not you, but Nathan Alford, this is him making a pledge. I'm going to do my best to be a good citizen. I am taking the DARE challenge by making this pledge to stop the bullying that happens at my school. To do this, I agree that I will not bully anyone. If I see bullying happening, I will find a safe way to tell a trusted adult at school. I will not exclude anyone. If I see anyone being left out, I will invite them to join me. That way, they will be protected from bullying. All right, and next up, in second place, we have Maribel Najera.
It's very warm up here under the lights, so she's gonna have a seat while I read her essay. All right, so imagine a place where there were no problems to deal with, and everyone was stress-free. Some people already are stress-free, and others are not, and have negative ways to deal with it, like screaming, for adults, drinking, smoking, and so on. These are not things that you should turn to if you are stressed, or for any other problems you might have. There are also positive ways to deal with stress or other issues, like taking a nap to relax, walking away to a quiet spot for a minute, or even just reading might help. In D.A.R.E, we were taught different ways to help with our stress or other issues. A few things I was taught in D.A.R.E are signs of stress, resistance strategies, and communication styles. I learned a lot about the signs of stress. Some of the signs of stress can be crying, sweating, and shaking. The lessons on communication styles help with the tone of voice I use when communicating with others and making sure I don't yell at whoever I was speaking with. The lesson on resistance strategies was one that I enjoyed hearing because I have a problem saying no when others ask me to do something. I'm kind of a people pleaser. So that's why this lesson was a nice refresher that I don't always have to say yes to what people ask me to do. Do you know what DDMM stands for? It stands for D.A.R.E Decision-Making Model. And we use this as a way to define, assess, respond, and evaluate. One way I've used this is by making good decisions. I think it's important to think about what you do so you don't get in trouble or worse. The next is being responsible in situations where it's needed. I think it is okay to goof off and have fun sometimes, while other times are the best for that. The last one is keeping myself organized in and outside of school. I think everyone should try to stay organized, so if you were trying to finish an assignment, you would need a pencil, or you're trying to leave to go to the park, and you need your shoes. You can find them quicker. There are a few ways that I plan on using what I've learned. One of the ways is safe reporting. Safe reporting is whenever you safely report something to a trusted adult. I plan to use this if there's an issue between others or myself that could be bullying or harmful. The next is effective communication. Effective communication is where you listen to others while they are speaking. I plan to use this whenever I have a conversation with someone because I take a space out when others are talking. The last one is making sure whatever I'm doing won't injure me or worse. I plan to use this before I do something that could injure me, like jumping off the trampoline onto concrete or jumping into water. In summary, I promise to be a good citizen to help stop any bullying inside my school. Helping others is something I enjoy doing, but sometimes it's best to leave others alone so that they can think before they shout in your face. Everyone's different, so you might not know if they're okay with that, and that's fine. But I think it's a great way to ask if they are okay with that. All right. And last but not least, drum roll. We have, in first place, Sophia Opton.
Did you know that over 50,000 people die each year just from secondhand smoke? That's just one reason why you shouldn't smoke. D.A.R.E helps you learn how to resist drugs, deal with pressure, stress, and much more. I have learned a lot in D.A.R.E. I have learned the difference between tattling and telling, the health effects of smoking and drugs, peer pressure and ways to resist it, different ways to communicate, and ways to deal with bullying. The difference between tattling and telling is that tattling is when someone is doing something that doesn't hurt you, but you tell an adult trying to get the other person in trouble. Telling is when someone is doing something to hurt you and you report it to an adult. I have learned that there are many health effects of smoking. Smoking can cause many different cancers, and it can cause strokes, heart problems, and much more. When you are communicating, make sure to communicate confidently, not unsure or demanding. If you communicate confidently, then people will be able will be more likely to listen to you. The DDMM is the DARE decision-making model. You can use the DDMM when you have two hard options to choose from. First, define what the problem is. Next, assess which wisdom you have to choose from. Now respond by making a choice. Class, you need to evaluate your choice. Was it the right idea? Now that I know what the DDMM is, I can use it in the future. I will make safe and responsible choices. If there is peer pressure, then I will change the subject or say no and walk away. When I get overwhelmed or stressed, I will listen to music and calm down. When I communicate, I will try to talk confidently so people will listen to me more effectively. How will you make safe choices? I have learned a lot here, and in many ways to make safe and responsible choices. I will use the things I learned in DARE to resist drugs and smoking. I will also help my friends and family make good choices by showing them the DDMM. I pledge to be a good citizen and make good choices.
He doesn't want to move for me now. I didn't say at the beginning, everybody, we had really great essays. It was really tough competition, but let's give it up one last time for our top 5 winners, guys.
All right, we're now going to introduce Mr. Ryan, and then we're going to have a special song for the parents again.
I think this is the way we should start. Officer Blackie, Officer Brookshire, we appreciate you, and on behalf of the 5th grade class, we thank you. Right? Let's give them a round of applause. We thank you for taking your time out of your day to help teach us what is right and wrong, but also just how to be a good citizen in the United States of America. And on behalf of the 5th grade class, we've prepared for you the D.A.R.E song.
All right, that song was fantastic, guys. Great job. So before we conclude, I just want to say thanks to a few people. First of all, the teachers, principals that were here to support us, the other officers, and especially our parents that have come to attend today. The students appreciate it. We appreciate it. So thanks for being here. That concludes the ceremony. Did anybody else have anything to add? All right. Well, have a great day, guys, and thanks for coming.